Well, thank you for coming to our annual sports banquet and awards night. I want to start off by thanking you parents for just all the support that you had for your athlete this year. And I know it's kind of customary to say my next statement, but it's a true one. So many of our players deserve awards. You could give an award for every player that we have, but we have the unfortunate job as coaches of deciding on just a few people. And so tonight we'll honor several people, but the truth is the individual awards cannot happen without a team that supports them and helps them. And we try to make that clear as coaches to our players, but it's not just something that we say, it's something that we really mean. And so tonight, it's our goal to honor, yes, individuals, but also honor the teams for the things that they accomplish. We'll start off with a word of prayer, and then after a word of prayer, we're going to have the junior high boys soccer coach come on up. Let's pray. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the athletes. Thank you for their parents. Thank you for giving them the abilities to be able to play the sport. There's many kids who sit in a wheelchair, Lord, that would love to run on court just one time, or run on a field one time, Lord God, or hit a volleyball, whatever it might be. And Lord, thank you for the athletic abilities you've given these young people. Pray that you bless our time together, and we thank you for all you do. In your name we pray, amen. All right, at this time, I think Coach Friedel.
All right, so I started off this year coaching the junior high boys, and I've been coaching them for a while now. And Mr. Young and Neville kind of took it middle of the season, so, but I'll be doing the awards for this end of the year since I've been kind of running the soccer program here recently. So if I could have all the junior high boys, we still bring them up to the stage. If you want to come up to the stage, you know who you are. I'll call you out though, just for a refresher. So Jacob, Elijah, Meba, Enoch, Chris, Nathan, Julius, Nikita, Ezra, Elijah, Josiah, Joel, and Amen. If you guys could come to the
Junior high is on this side.
Okay. And as I mentioned earlier, Mr. Young helped out a lot with the junior high boys, and Neville came in and helped with them. And I helped them during practices, but then when it came to game time and whatnot, they kind of took it and ran with the junior high boys. And so I'm very thankful for all their help that they've been. So this year, as you can see from the boys that are here, we had a smaller team. And to field soccer, you need 11 kids, and we had about 13 or 14. So all the kids played a lot of time this year, and that meant the 4 guys who are getting an award tonight didn't get very much time on the bench. They were out there pretty much the whole time, and so a lot of the awards, they deserve a Mr. Hustle award on top of what they did. So the first 2 awards are co-Mr. Defenders. So these 2 boys, they held our back, very well. And so the first one was our center defender, and he's been a wall for us the last couple of years, and he just does a brilliant job back there. He also is working on bringing up the ball and passing it up to our midfielders. That way we can push our offense. So the first co-Mr. Defender is Joel Weinja. Our second co-Mr. Defender is a step in front of that guy. He's our sweeper. And so he is the first line of defense. He goes out and attacks their offense and cleans up everything. And then if he misses it and Joel isn't able to get it, he comes back and sweeps it up again. Our second co-Mr. Defender is Nikita Badochet. I'm so sorry. Nikita. What is it? Pachinko. Apologies. The next award is Mr. Reliable. As I mentioned a little bit at the beginning, the guys did not get a lot of breaks on the field. And this guy, for his size, put in a lot of work, a lot of effort, was running a lot, was everywhere on the field for his position too. He was our center midfielder, so everything kind of went through him. And sometimes he went to the forward and was scoring a lot and was putting up a lot of our goals this year. The Mr. Reliable award goes to Meba.
He's not here?
All right, and the MVP for this year, he was our Mr. Offense also. He scored the most goals, but also his crosses were beautiful. He was sending it to people, and it was just a lot of fun watching him. And he was just very helpful during practices, keeping the guys in line, and really putting in the effort and the work. So our MVP goes to Amen. And that's all for me.
Neville and Coach Young, right? Yeah. Yeah, Neville and Coach Young. Come up here, please. Come on, get round applause. Okay. So these two, well, for junior high, but three for varsity, these two helped us a lot. Well, it doesn't even matter if we win or lose. The memories still count, and it doesn't even matter how practices are boring or anything. It's gonna be in our memories, you know what I mean? And I think that we should appreciate their work. What's so funny? And last year, I think some of you guys heard me say it, I couldn't kick a ball. But this year, even I can kick across the whole field. Yeah! Round of applause for these people.
All right, at this time, could I have the varsity guys from this year come up to the platform? There's a lot of names, so I'm coming up as I'm calling you. Meba, Derek, Caleb, Yannick, Julian, Victor, Abram, Josh, Amen, Hersan, Adam, Isaac, Tim, Jared, Owen, Josiah, Ryan, Charles, Jonathan, Michael, Alazar, Boston, Nate, Sasha, Alex, Yoel, Wyatt, Levi, and Caduce. Come on up, you guys. Behave. I'll make you run still. All right. This year, our captains were Abram Terrazas, Owen Nelson, Boston Johnson, and Josh Anderson. These guys were great. They kept the guys in shape, or in line. I also just loved coaching these guys. They like to have a good time, but also when it came to getting serious and getting involved in practice and working hard, they did that too. So thank you to the captains, but also the senior class in general. We did go to a couple tournaments this year. We went down to Faith Baptist College in Indiana and placed second there. While we were there, we had a couple of awards that were given there, and we also placed first this year in the Max State Tournament here for Minnesota. During that tournament, we had a couple awards. So all tournament state, Owen Nelson, Abram, Levi, Jonathan, and Josh got MVP. Also, all conference honorable mention was Boston Johnson. All conference second team was Jonathan Anaya and Levi Borner. All conference first team was Abram Terrazas, Owen Nelson, and Josh Anderson. As I mentioned, these guys really worked hard. And as Mr. McKinney mentioned, we only get 4 awards, with 11 people being out on the field at once, it's very hard to limit it to 4. These 4 went above and beyond just the award title that was given to them. So I will kind of mention that as I give out their awards. Our Mr. Offense this year, he has scored our most goals every year for the last couple of years. He leads the team in that, and he helps out with the assists. But also, other than that, this year especially, he kind of filled in positions that he normally isn't as an offensive player. He had to go play defense a couple of times throughout the year due to people being injured. And he was very willing to do it, even though it wasn't his normal position. So Mr. Offense goes to Levi Borner. Our Mr. Defense Award, he was a wall back there. That's just kind of what comes with your job back there. He cleared the ball out. He initiated our offense by not just clearing it, but also pushing it up the sides and passing it to his teammates, which is very helpful to the offense. Other than that, he kept the guys in line. A lot of the guys like to joke. He kind of would get them back in line, serious. He also does a good job in practice and says, yes, sir, no, sir, and is very helpful for me. So he was kind of like a coach's assistant with Mr. Young and I. So the Mr. Defense Award goes to Owen Nelson. The Heart and Hustle Award. We've done Mr. Hustle before. This guy, I feel like his spirit when it comes to the soccer field and just how he gets involved in soccer is a lot of fun to watch. He does a great job out there. I think he's been getting this award for a couple of years now just because of how much work he does in the middle, and everything goes through him. He passes out to the outside and does a beautiful job with his passes. So the Heart and Hustle Award goes to Abram Terrazas. And the MVP of this year, this has actually been a couple years running. We just weren't able to do it the last couple of years, but he has deserved it the last few years. And he's just been a phenomenal goalie, and I am going to truly miss him after this year. But the MVP goes to Josh Anderson. And although we are losing a lot of seniors, I do look forward to next year with the rest of these guys.
Mr. Young, could you make your way to the platform, please? Dear Coach Scott and Coach Young, some might say we won 3 championships in a row because of the coaching, but most know it was really because of the players. I think I can speak for about 2/3 of the seniors when I say we will miss you next year, Coach Scott. Don't worry, Coach Young, we'll all miss you. Well, throughout these past seasons, there have been good and bad moments, but tonight I'm only going to talk about the bad ones. Coach, do you remember when you made us run around a hotel in Iowa at 1 in the morning because we didn't go to sleep? Or what happened at McDonald's? We'll not talk about that. Coach knows what I'm talking about. We won't talk about that. Or when we didn't score a single goal for about 4 or 5 games.
Hey, that's not on me.
Hey, I didn't say any names.
The players, right?
Anyways, I could talk about many more bad incidents, but I'll stop there for tonight. But on a real note, both Coach Scott and Coach Young have sacrificed a lot of their time to be our coaches. They have taught us many valuable lessons and always make sure that we are trying our hardest in everything that we do. I speak for the whole soccer team when I say thank you. Good night.
All right. While half the school leaves the platform, we'll have the junior high girls come on up with Coach Gianna Gibson. She's going to read names, so or I'll read the names for her as she's making her way up. Can I have Olivia, Maya, Anaya, Ariam, Nina, Ella, Zoe, Minna, Madison, Rin, Batanya, let's see here, Rowie, Ginger, Maya, Aubrey, Victoria, Rebecca, Carmen, Haley, London, Brenly, Olivia, Layla, Naomi, Christy, Bryn, Sina, Ava, Elbethel, and Alohe.
All right, hi, my name is Miss Gibson, and I had the privilege of coaching the junior high girls volleyball. Thank you, Mr. McKinney, for reading all their names for me. We had a great season. We won a lot of games, and it was awesome just seeing the girls have fun and improve their skills. Coaching the girls was one of the highlights for me this school year, and I just thank them for that. They're all just such really sweet girls, and they have a lot of fun together, so it was just a great season. And I wish I did not have to only choose 4 awards. That was very hard, but I had to, so I'll recognize these 4 girls for just doing especially good. The first award is for the best passer. This player was a key component to the team by going out of her way to get any ball and pass it well. She was an excellent setter for our team too. I am also just proud of how she constantly was practicing to get better and better at these skills. This award goes to Miss Alohe. Good job, Aloy. All right. The second award is for the best server. This player was great at always practicing her serves and trying to improve each practice. I always knew I could count on her to not only make her serve, but also to give it her best effort to ace the other team as well. I also appreciate her good attitude in every game and practice. She just always has a sweet heart. This award goes to Miss Ella. Where is it? All right. The next award is for the best hitter. I knew I could count on this player to give her best in every game and in every hit she made. I also appreciate the competitiveness of this girl. This, I believe, is what made her to have a great work ethic and always trying to improve her skills. This award goes to Miss Ava. All right. And our last award goes to our most valuable player. This player was accountable in all the ways needed for our team. She is an excellent server, a great hitter, and a great setter too. She is also great at receiving because she'll run as hard as she can to get any ball. She even watches professional volleyball games on her free time just to improve her skills. This award goes to Maya McKinney. Well, thank you, girls, for this year, and thank you, everyone.
Where you at? I forgot my daughter's speaking for volleyball, and she's not here. So I'm Maya today. I was told to tell you the girls love you and are thankful for you stepping in and really helping them this year. And so thank you, Coach. All right, Miss Shabolden, if you can head on up. And while she's coming up, I'll read the names for her group, as well as Zoe, Cheyenne, Chloe, Maya, Ruth, Elbethel, Alyssa, Ava, Jenny, Alohe, and Aubrey, if you want to make your way up.
Hi, my name is Karina, and this was my first year coaching at First Baptist, and it was truly an awesome experience, and I really, really enjoyed it. One of my favorite parts about coaching was seeing all of the different personalities coming together to help each other out in the games and during the practices. I'd like to take the time and thank Abby for literally helping me every step of the way and helping me with my first year of coaching. I'd also like to thank all the parents who allowed their girls to play volleyball and drove them to all the practices, as well as came out and supported them during the games. I look forward to watching each of these girls develop their skills in volleyball and grow as individuals. I have a few individuals I would like to recognize from the team. Let's start with the best server. This girl told me for a few weeks that she could only underhand serve. Yet when game day rolled around, she'd serve overhand and rarely miss. I am giving the best server to Aubrey. Next, I'd like to recognize Miss Hustle. This girl would be quiet on her feet, but always there to get any ball, no matter where it was on the court. I am giving Miss Hustle to Chloe. Next, I'm going to recognize our best hitter. This girl would always go for a hit, no matter what, and even tell the setter that it was a bad set, but still try to get it over. I am recognizing Cheyenne for best hitter. And for the last award, MVP. This girl was always on fire during every game and every practice. She kept the team on their toes and kept them in check. If they'd start to slack at any point during the game, I could always count on her serves, her hitting, aggressiveness, confidence, and energy. My MVP for this season is Maya, and she's not here.
So, Coach Karina, we just want to thank you so much for everything you have done for us. We really enjoyed you as a coach. You encouraged us the whole time, even when we were losing by 20. You never gave up on us. We really enjoyed the games and the practices. We want to thank you for not making us run as much as the varsity coach did. Thank you for being young and relatable. The highlight of the season was the volleyball party that you threw for us at your home. I can testify for all of us that it was really fun. We loved it. Also, your home is very lovely. And we love trashing it. But we love you, and we hope you come next year to coach us. We want to give you a gift and some flowers for our appreciation.
You guys are good. All right, thank you.
Hello, I was the girls varsity volleyball coach this year, so ladies, if you could come up while I'm calling your names. I had Chloe Weinja, Lydia Weinja, Leah Anderson, Emma Weinja, Jada McKinney, Amy Kirchhoff, Kira Weinja, Katie Kleva, and Isabella Matos. Okay, my captains for this year, as they're working their way up here, I had Amy Kirchhoff, Lydia Weinja, and Katie Kleva. We got to also go to the tournament in Iowa. We got second place, and that was actually one of my favorite memories from the whole season. I had the privilege of coaching these ladies for the first time this year, and they had to learn me, and I had to learn them. And at this tournament, it was where we really got to see them work together as a heartbeat. We got to see them click and finally work together, communicate, and look like a real volleyball team. It was really awesome to see them grow. The next tournament we had was Spike Fest. We had third place for that one, and then at Max we got fifth place. We got some honorable mentions, which were Kira Weinja. All tournament state was for Lydia. All conference second team, Katie Kleva. All conference first team, Lydia Weinja. And just thinking about this season, I wanted to say thank you to the parents. It was really an honor to be able to coach your girls. I know that you guys put a lot of trust into me to be able to just meet your girls. And one of my favorite things to the girls was I got to do mental checks with them. I did my best to look at the girls as a whole person and not just as an athlete. So we got a time to just talk about how they're doing in school, how they're doing with their relationship with Jesus, and how they feel about volleyball as a whole, and that was one of my favorite parts. So thank you, girls, for being honest with me and talking with me and trusting me. This season was great. I know it was not easy. The first couple weeks, they did not like me. They were like, who is this lady? Why is she doing what she's doing? Why are we running? Why are we doing all of this stuff? And there was a lot of complaining, and a lot of them were like, I'm gonna quit. And I encouraged them to not quit just because as they saw as the year went on, it was actually worth it. So for my first award, this lady, it's for my most improved. Throughout this season, it was clear that she was very intentional on her serves and just trying to be the best athlete that she could be. And she also improved in her passes a lot. It took a lot of time for it to click for her with her serving. But for this award, it goes to Isabella Matos. The next one that I have for this girl, it's the Most Blocks Award. If you watched any of our games, you would know that as soon as she was present in the front row, other teams looked scared. There was one game that I remember, and I will never forget. It was a rally, and she had 3 blocks in a row. Anybody who has played volleyball knows that's not easy to do, to consistently be 1, 2, 3, and that was one of my favorite memories of this girl, and she looked over at me, and she had the biggest smile on her face because she was just so happy that she got to do that. And I think a lot of these girls know who it is. That goes to Miss Katie Kleva. And then my next one, my most kills for this girl, I have a memory from last season watching her play volleyball on her team. She wasn't always like the happiest during the games, and it kind of broke my heart. And I watched one practice where she had something click, and she was doing this drill, and she was hitting from the outside, and she just had this huge smile, and I couldn't help it. I was up on the balcony, and I was like, yeah, let's go. And she looked at me, and she had the biggest smile in the world. Throughout this season, I just encouraged her that no matter how upset she was, no matter if she missed or any of those things, she had to swing big. And if she didn't swing big, she would look at me and she's like, I'm sorry, I knew I didn't do it. It was really exciting to see her get the hits and most kills that she did. And when it was a good one, she would look over at us and she would be like, that was good. I'm proud of myself for that one. And for this, that goes to Miss Lydia Wanja. And then my coach's award. For this lady, she has a lot of enthusiasm. She had a great spirit throughout the season. They will tell you by their facial expressions that the first couple weeks was not easy. It was very hard, kind of like a boot camp type of vibe where they just had to go, 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 and they didn't really get a break. And this girl, she was dying herself through most of it, but she was still saying, let's go, girls, you can do it, let's go. And everything that she did, she just had a good attitude about it. Even if she wasn't having a great day, she tried to be encouraging. She helped me out with whatever I asked her to help me with. If I just needed someone on the team that I could depend on to be encouraging, this girl goes to Miss Amy Kirchhoff. And then my last award, but definitely not least, is my MVP award. For this girl, if you guys watched our games, you could see that she could play any position on the court, and she would have done well in it. This year, she had to play a position that she has not had to play before, and she did great. She threw herself all over the court, and every single game, she would do blood, sweat, and tears into it with everything that she had, and she had a great attitude. The only time she would get frustrated is if she messed up, and she would beat herself up more than I ever had to, and that award goes to Miss Kira Weinja. And And then I also just wanted to thank Karina Shobolden as well. She was my assistant, and I wouldn't have been able to do a lot without her.
I told Coach I wouldn't cry, but no promises. I was sitting thinking how I'm going to start the speech, and I began by Googling the definition of a coach. The first thing that came up was a horse-drawn carriage or a railroad car. I tried again, and according to Google, a coach is a person who teaches and trains the members of a sports team and makes decisions about how the team plays during the games. To all of us girls, Coach Abby was so much more. She didn't just teach us the game of volleyball, but along the way, she taught us valuable life lessons, like working hard for what you want, and that we are capable of so much more than we think. She taught us good sportsmanship and how to be examples of Christ on the court. She also put the fear of God in us. I remember one specific practice we were scrimmaging, and she told us to be constantly shuffling our feet or else we'd have to run laps or killers of some sort. So for like an hour straight, I had the words, "shuffle your feet," ringing through my head. Well, the next day I had a dentist appointment, and I was relaxed in the dentist chair, and then the words, "shuffle your feet," rang through my head. I jerked in the dentist chair, thinking, oh no, Coach is gonna come around the corner and make me run laps. But then it hit me that I was at the dentist. As well as being the woman that we all feared the most, Coach Abby soon became our closest friend. Outside of practice, she would make time out of her busy schedule to check up on us and see how we were doing. She always had something encouraging to say, and she showed that she didn't just view us as her players, but she treated us like her best friends. She made this team feel like a closely knit family by making us talk about things that with people we don't normally talk to or know as well. We are so blessed with Coach Abby this season, and through rough games and even rougher practices, you never gave up on us and encouraged us through it all. With 4 months that you had with us, you made such a huge impact on my life. You are truly a person that I will never forget. From the team, we wish you God's blessings and His peace and joy over your life. May you keep impacting people the way you have impacted all of us. We love you.
All right, I also got to be the junior high girls basketball coach. So for you junior high girls, you guys can make your way up. I had Timbiti, Aubrey, Sina, Haley, Sabina, Batania, Bryn, Elbethel, Maya, Paola, Ella, Zoe, Mena, Layla, Naomi. All right, so for our junior high girls basketball team, it was a really big growing year, a lot of lessons that we had to learn. We didn't get a ton of wins, which was really not always the best feeling, but these girls had a great attitude. If there's one thing that I love and appreciate about them is that they were fun and they were goofy and they wanted to learn. For a lot of these girls, they didn't know how to dribble, they didn't know how to shoot, and they just didn't know a lot about the sport, but they had a great attitude and they came in and they made the best out of every practice that we had. We didn't have a lot of time together during practices, but when we did, they did super awesome. I just wanted to thank Elise. She was my assistant, and I also wanted to take time to recognize Miss Tiffany McKinney as well. She was not our assistant, but she came into almost every practice and every game just to be able to put in their input, and I know I appreciated it, and I'm sure the girls appreciated it as well. So the first award that I have goes to Miss Offense, and for this girl, she made a really big difference on the court with everything that she was doing, but offensively, it was just super awesome to see her grow. She started to shoot threes a little bit more, she started to do some more moves with her layups, and for this, it goes to Aubrey. And then my next award goes to Miss Defense. For this one, she's a little gal, and I knew that she had it inside of her. She is very soft-spoken, very quiet, and I just continuously tried to encourage her to do her best and to just be aggressive as much as possibly. And when it clicked for her, it clicked and it stayed. And for this girl, it goes to Miss Elbethel. And then my next award goes to Miss Versatility. For this girl, she could do just about anything offensively or defensively, and she had a smile on her face up and down the court all the time. Next year, I would like to see more aggressiveness from her, but she had a great attitude in everything that she did and everything that she said, and I just appreciated watching her play and watching her grow, and that goes to Miss Haley. And then my last award, this goes to, I named it Miss Rebound. This girl hustled up and down the court with every single play. You would look at her and you could tell she was tired, but that didn't stop her. She kept on hustling and going as fast as she could. I remember in our max tournament towards the end of the year, she had an injury on her ankle and she had to come out for a second, and within probably 10 seconds, she was like, "Coach, put me back in, I'm ready to go." And she made a really big difference when she was on the court, and it's been awesome just to watch her grow as well. This goes to Miss Ella. And thank you again, parents, for letting me get to coach your girls. They are amazing, and it's just my honor to be able to have time with them and to see them grow as people.
Hi. I want to thank our manager, Aloe, and our assistant manager, Hermon, and especially the coaches, Coach Madden and Coach Elise, who's not, I don't know who she is. But I want to thank Mrs. McKinney, especially because she taught me how to shoot, even though I shot behind the backboard, and that was embarrassing. I want to thank Coach Madden and Coach Elise. They really pushed us to try our hardest, and they're really patient with us, and yeah.
As the junior high boys basketball coach, it's been a number of years, I don't remember. But it was a lot of fun to have these fellows here, so calling up half the crowd, we had Cooper, Michael, Alejandro, Carter, Courthauer, Ebba, Luke, Carter, Dutton, Colby, Julius, Tiberius. You're not coming yet. Come on, guys, let's go, let's go. You don't have to wait for me to call your name. Chris and Anaya, Joe, Elijah, Henry, Joel, Amen, Nate, Tyler, Caleb, Shane, Josiah, Ebba, Sebastian, Chris. That's a lot of boys. Yes. On one half court for 45 minutes. It was a lot to manage, but these fellows worked very hard this year. And if you had told me in November, as we started off with our practices, that we would win second place, I'd say, why aren't we winning first? But I would have been very pleased with that if I had been told that in November. And the result of getting second place, I am very proud of these fellows because it was something that they performed at their highest level when it mattered the most. My favorite memories are those early games. I wish we would have had a better memory for the championship game, but the early games in the tournament that they were playing at their top level, and it was a lot of fun to watch them play. So second place in the junior high tournament, and our awards here, I got to do 5 because I wanted to. We had Rookie of the Year. I try to give this to fellows playing for the first time on our team together, and picking a 5th grader this year that we got to have them up with us again, causing us to have a larger team. But just heart and hustle, he's always around the court, and I look forward to how he will improve in the next year. Carter Courthauer, he's not here. Give him my hand. Next award is the Big Man of the Year. I like this award. It's my favorite one. I don't think I would have gotten it back in these days, but watching this fella grow in the years that I've coached him, in the way that he played this year, very deserving. It can be called a lot of things, but Big Man of the Year, I think, is very appropriate. That I hope he'll continue to play this game as he continues to grow and develop. But the Big Man of the Year going to Tyler Hansen. The next award I called the Shooter's Touch, because it always seemed that he was open in the corner and was making his shots. And I look forward to seeing his development on the offseason and into next season as well as he continues to shoot the ball. But the Shooter's Touch Award going to Joel Weinja. My last award is the Most Improved, and this could have gone to any number of players. But I chose 2 8th graders who I believe are very deserving of this. And I don't believe they are here tonight, however, but watching them play, they grew in my respect for them in the game and in my confidence in them as well. And I hope, again, that they will continue to play in the next couple of years. But our co-most improved players are Shane and Caleb Lara. Are either of them here? I wish I could give an award to each of them, but these are definitely very deserving. So thank you again for playing this year, fellas. Looking forward to next year, although those guys aren't going to play for me next year. I love you guys. I don't want you to play for me next year. You go play for the higher league. I'm going to stop talking now.
Hello. They picked me to do the speech. I have to thank Mr. Fletcher over here. He does a lot of stuff for the school. He does a lot of stuff for our coaching. He drives the bus, helps us vote on where to eat after games. He teaches. He did a lot of teaching. He helps us out, drives the bus. I think I already said that. But thank you, Mr. Fletcher, for helping us through over the year, watching us grow and coaching us, helping us on our free throws. We did a lot of those. But thank you, Mr. Fletcher.
If I could get the junior varsity girls to come up, El Bethel, Nina, Madeline, Haley, Cheyenne, Isabella, Ella, Leah, Beatty, and Alyssa. If you could come up, please. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. I get the opportunity to work with the JV girls. I want to thank you parents for letting your daughters play. I do find it an honor to be able to coach. You know what? I just love to watch how they improve from day one to the end of the season. And these girls did a great job this year. I want to thank the Larsons. They've allowed me for the last 4 years to work with them. And my job is to try to help develop players so when they get to the varsity, they'll be ready to play. You know what, I have decided I'm going to forgive Coach Larson and Mrs. Larson because they stole 3/5 of my starters after the JV tournament, I'm just telling you. So by next year, I think I'll be over it. We were very fortunate. We started out the season and we won the JV tournament in Chisago. It's the first time that they've won it since I've been here. The first year we didn't have it because of COVID. The next 2 years we got second. I do not like getting second. And so this year we won it. And so that was a great start. We had a winning season. If you notice, we have several junior high girls up here, and they won awards. And we have some to give out to the rest of our JV players. But I really believe our program is doing really well. I thank Abby Madden for what she does with the junior high girls, because when they develop and they get to me, it's nice to see that they have their fundamentals, and then my job is to help do it a little bit further. So I really appreciate it. Like I say, we had a winning record, which was nice. Won the first place in the tournament. And now I'd like to give out some awards. As Coach McKinney said, it'd be nice to give everybody an award, but you just can't. So I came up with 3 awards. Again, like I said, I could have given out a couple more maybe, but the junior high girls had several, and they would be right there. Because if you notice, most of the girls that came up junior high, Nina's an 8th grader, the other girls are 7th graders. And so they did a fantastic job for us as we went. So my first award I'd like to give out tonight is our Offensive Player of the Year. Now, how do you determine somebody's an Offensive Player of the Year? I mean, are they your best scorer? Are they your point guard who kind of runs the show? How do you decide that? So my Offensive Player of the Year, I looked at it this way. This is a young lady who I went and I asked her if she would play for the JV, because she's a junior. And, you know, juniors usually end up being up on the varsity, and she was. But I said, we could really use you because we only had 11 girls on our varsity. Total high school girls go out, and so I needed her to come down, and you know what? She ended up having to play most of all the games from start to finish, and she would get worn out, and she would have to endure me. I'm telling you, I'm a point guard. I was a point guard in high school, and so I kind of tend to get after them a little bit. And so this year, for our Offensive Player of the Year, I gave it to Isabella Matos. Our next award goes to our Defensive Player of the Year. And again, this young lady, she led us in steals during the season, and some of the times she only played half a game because she would play varsity or maybe a half or something like that, and we're only allowed to play so many halves in a night. And so she, like I say, she ended up leading us in steals. She played a lot. Again, you know what? I'm just going to say this. It was a successful season for me because I don't think I made any of the girls cry this year. Because I tend to get after them. You can ask Coach. I kind of get after them, and I make them run, and I can be kind of mean, and I do push this young lady, and she stepped up to the plate, and I really appreciate that. And that goes to Cheyenne Rhodes. And then our next award, I call this the most versatile. Okay, someone that can do a little bit of everything. They can pass, they can shoot, they can dribble, they can play defense. They're unselfish, and I'm not saying any of our girls were selfish. I'm just saying this one young lady kind of with a little bit of all of that. As a matter of fact, the first time when she came to play this year for us, she was playing inside in a post position, and so we did that. Well, you know, I was saying we don't have many girls on the JV, and so you kind of have to learn how to play different positions. And so we're in the middle of the game, and I said, I really need you to go out and play on the wing. You know what? And that's not an easy thing. And she said, okay, do I do this, this, and this? I said, yeah, you got it. And she went. And well, then the game got a little further along, and I think our point guard either got in foul trouble or something happened. And I said to her, I need you to play the point. I need you to bring the ball down the court. I need you to run the team a little bit. And she said, I guess I can do that, and she did a great job. And I'm looking forward to seeing her even get better and better as the next couple of years. And that award goes to Madeline Nelson. And again, before I step down, I want to thank you parents for allowing me to coach. You don't know how much I enjoy watching them go from here to the end of the season. I do, and it's so much fun to see how much they improve. And you have a good bunch of daughters here. Thank you.
Hello. Mr. Jenkins, now, I know coaching JV basketball isn't easy, and it requires patience, dedication, and a slight love of yelling at people, but you easily have shown that you have all of these good coach qualities and more. Your passion for the game that helps us to be motivated is only rivaled by your ability to rock a pair of high socks and long shorts. Your timeouts are superb, not just for the strategic advice you give us, but also for your ability to make us laugh, feel motivated, and reconsider all of our life choices all in one huddle. You've taught all of us more than just how to dribble a ball or execute a pick and roll. You put in us the values of teamwork, sportsmanship, and the importance of making it to practice on time, even if that means making even if that means yelling at some of us when we're late, namely me. So here's to you, Coach Jenkins, the actual MVP of our team and the one who encourages us every day to work harder and be better. May your plays that you call out always be heard, your timeouts always be well-timed, and your jokes always be as funny as your coaching skills are top-notch. And I hope you enjoy the gift we are presenting to you today, and always remember the love this whole team has for you and has shown to you by signing a framed Coach poster.
All right. Coach Young, if you want to come on up. And aren't we glad that Mr. Jenkins' shorts are long and not the ones he wore in high school? Aren't we glad for that?
Yeah, I would second that on my shorts from high school. He's a little older than I am. Well, hey, that is not that funny. Could I have are they up? Is anybody coming up? We're doing JV boys. Is anybody here? Okay. Dougie, Brody, Isaac, Hans, Amen, Max, Julian, John, Justin, John, Yoel, Brad, Hebron, Michael, and Alazar. 17 boys to coach is the most I've ever coached. So probably the biggest challenge for me was trying to get enough playing time. And I'm sure you parents may or may not have heard complaints when they got home that they didn't get enough playing time. But I apologize that I didn't have an extra half to play everybody in. But it was a challenge for me trying to get the right chemistry on the field, on the court, and to also win the game. I always thought that was kind of the idea, was to win the game. But we didn't do that bad this year. In the Chisago tournament, we finished second, and it was funny, they asked me how we did, and I think that game went to overtime, didn't it? Yeah. It went into overtime. We barely lost, and we played a really good game. We finished second in we lost in the championship game, so it was good. I don't know our record, but we won more games than we lost. The group was really good to work with, to work around, to try to get motivated and to try to get them all rowing in the same direction, because there's a lot of good players up here, and they want to work hard and they want to do a good job. My awards, I had 4 awards. The first one went to an individual that's only been playing for a few years. He's only got one speed. That's probably his biggest problem, is he just goes 100 miles an hour on the court. He is our best offensive rebounder, and nobody ever passes him the ball because they don't need to, because he's going to get an offensive rebound and he's going to score. He was one of our leading scorers this year, and most of his points were off offensive rebounds. Great tribute to him. Worked hard. He probably led our team in fouls, but I don't have a problem with that because he worked hard and he tried, and he's fun to be around. The only problem I think I ever had, I remember one game I was correcting him for one thing he did down one end, and he's having a conversation with me as he's coming back, and his guy scored on him, and I'm like, Brad, no, just don't, I'm just telling you something. We're trying not to have a conversation here. But great attitude, great to work with. He's just been a real pleasure, and I've already told it, Brad, come on up. Good job. The next award is our teammate award. I know that's a weird award, but you know, teammates are important, and a lot of guys think because they have the ball that it's theirs and they own it and they can do with it if they wish. But a teammate is somebody that is more interested in other people doing well. I saw this start in the Chisago tournament. For anybody that watched the game, he was bringing the ball up and he was about a third of the way up the court, and he went to throw a ball, and I'm thinking, what in the world are you doing? He whipped that ball, one bounce. I don't remember who got it, but they grabbed it, perfect layup. And I'm like, what in the world did he just do? And I was just stunned. So we made him our inbounder. Whenever he inbounds the ball, it got to who it was supposed to go to for easy baskets. And if we didn't score, it wasn't because he didn't get them to them, it's because they missed it. A great rebounder, offensive, defensive rebounder. He'd get rebounds underneath the basket on the offensive end. He wouldn't shoot. He'd give it to somebody else and let them. He was just a real great teammate. I really enjoyed him. And I told him this, that he was the one person I wanted to have the ball because he would do the right thing. And our teammate award goes to John Anaya. I don't even know if he's here. Our next award is Mr. Clutch, and this really came to fruition in the Chisago tournament. I hadn't seen a lot of him play, but all of a sudden he starts shooting these threes, and like NBA range. It's like, what is he doing? And then he makes it, so I'm like, good shot, yeah, that's what I wanted you to do. But he would be clutch. He loved shooting the three, and he hit a lot of them, and he has unlimited range, but that goes to Brody, and he's not here. The last award is our MVP, and if you watched him play for half the game and be the leading scorer in the game, you would understand why he's the MVP. There was one game we were down by, 15 points at halftime, and he came in, I think he scored 19 points in the second half, and we won. And it didn't matter where he was going. He knew where he was going. He didn't care who was there. If somebody was big down low, he would just shoot right over them. And he could get any place he wanted on the court. And then he learned he could play defense too. And he was stealing the ball in games. He just kind of, in the second halves, he would just kind of take over the game. And the only reason we didn't win every single game is because he just didn't have enough time. He was willing to win the games for us. But our MVP was Isaac. Yep.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, athletes and coaches, especially our incredible junior varsity team, it's an absolute pleasure to stand here before you tonight to celebrate the achievements and camaraderie of our athletic community. Now, before we all slip into a food coma, let's all take a moment to recognize two individuals who have been instrumental in shaping the future stars of our varsity squads, Coach Young and Coach Neville. Now, we can't stand and pretend that coaching JV is a walk in the park. It's more like a sprint through a jungle filled with bouncing balls and players Okay, hold on, I'll restart. Now we all can't stand here and pretend that coaching JV is a walk in the park. It's more like a sprint through a jungle filled with bouncing balls and players who sometimes think, pass means duck and cover. Coach Young and Coach Neville, you've navigated this jungle with finesse, humor, and endless patience. We're immensely grateful for your dedication and resilience. Speaking of bouncing balls, let's reminisce for a moment about those JV practices and games. If Coach Young had it down for every time the ball slipped through someone's fingers, well, let's just say he'd be retired by now. But Coach Young and Coach Neville, you did not just see the fumbled passes and missed layups. You saw the potential, the determination, and the raw talent waiting to be honed. You turned those clumsy mishaps into teaching moments and those fumbled balls into winning plays. And for that, we thank you. Yes.
All right, you're up, Mr. Larson.
Good evening. I'm Brian Larson. I coach the varsity girls. You young ladies, would you come up, please? Katie, Isabella, Emma, Cheyenne, Maya, Kira, Madeline, Leah, Alyssa, Jada, Lydia, and Beatty. This year, this group compiled a record of 19-8. This third best team that we've had in the tenure that I've been coaching. And this group was basically the same group we had last year. We just added a few extra parts. So it's a nice opportunity to see what can happen in a year. This year we had the opportunity to play in 3 tournaments. In early January we played at St. Francis. We lost the 3rd place game to the home team. We had 2 players named to the all-tournament team. Lydia Wanja and Jada McKinney. 2 weeks later, we went to Nebraska and played 4 games in the tournament and won them all, securing 1st place, and there Lydia was named the tournament MVP. We ended the season with the Max tournament in Plymouth. Here we learned that we had 4 players selected to the all-conference team. That's for the year. Lydia Wanja was named to the 1st team, Kira Wanja was named to the 2nd team, and Jada McKinney and Maya McKinney were honorable mention. That tournament, we achieved 3rd place, defeating St. Francis for the 3rd place game in Max, and we had 2 players receive all tournament honors, Kira Wanja and Maya McKinney. I have 4 awards tonight. First one is most improved. There's always an individual who improves, as we've heard mentioned tonight, from the beginning to the end. Well, in this case, the beginning was 3 years ago, and the end was this year. So this player came out during her sophomore year, having never played organized basketball. To say she was overwhelmed that year would be an understatement. But she showed her desire to improve by putting in the effort and applying the instruction she was given. This young lady was also our team motivator. She kept our spirits positive with her bubbly personality and her enthusiasm. I am pleased to give the Most Improved Award to Beatty. You deserve that, Beatty. Thanks, guys. All right, secondly, Coach's Award. There are several roles in a basketball game, scoring and ball handling being the obvious ones. But sometimes you just need to stop someone in the post. All right, this individual relished this role. I usually assigned her the toughest low post assignment, the person we needed to shut down or control. So sometimes it was just, don't let that person rebound. Okay, I knew this player would get the job done. She shut down multiple players in her career, frequently causing those players to get extremely frustrated and even occasionally quit. My Coach's Award goes to Emma Wanja. Good job, young lady. My third award we're calling the Good Hands Award. In basketball, the control of the ball is extremely important. If you have the ball, you want to keep it. If you don't have it, it's necessary to get it back. The recipient of this award demonstrates the good hands needed for both. Her defense helped her tie the team lead in steals with 86. She's adept at passing the ball. getting the ball to the right person at the right time, evidenced by her team leading assist total of 92. This player also averaged only 3.25 turnovers per game. Quite an achievement for such a young player. Jada McKinney is my Good Hands Award winner. She doesn't like her picture, I don't think. Anyway, number 4, fourth award, Most Valuable Player. A team's most valuable player is the one who has the largest impact on the season. Our MVP had a tremendous influence over our year. She led the team in multiple categories and achieved some records along the way. She accomplished the following. First off, she led us in blocks with 63. She led us in shooting percentage, 41%, which I believe is the highest for a girl under, since I've been coaching. She made the most three-pointers this year, shooting 30%, 29 out of 97. Fourthly, she averaged a double-double, 18 points and 12 rebounds. Then, to top that, she achieved that in 19 of 27 games. Fifth, she scored 485 points for one season. Most in a season behind only one person. Rosa Torres had 501, so 485 to 501, you weren't that far off. Number 6, she had the most rebounds, 327. This is a new program record, surpassing the previous high of 296 set a few years ago by Christy Graves. Reciting statistics is boring to listen to, but I wanted to share what she achieved as our MVP. This year's MVP, Lydia Wanja. We've heard it said quite a few times tonight about improvement from year end to here, where we are. Coaches at the lower levels, younger levels, keep what you're doing, because it truly helps coaches like Mr. McKinney and I to be able to focus on other things rather than fundamentals. Not that we ignore the fundamentals, but we don't have to spend the time on them. So what you're doing at the younger levels is very valuable. I'd like to thank Mr. Jenkins for his help, my wife Rachel for her help as well in the coaching, and I'd like to also thank Hannah and Sophie for being our stat crew. And ladies, thanks for a great season. We're looking forward to continued progress next year.
Coach Larson, you have been a great teacher and coach to all of us. We will always appreciate you passing your skills and knowledge throughout the season, which I have to say were very invaluable. I know that we as a team, especially as seniors, will treasure the memories we made during the season, specifically the Nebraska tournament. This season has really been a testament to the dedication and hard work that you, Mr. Jenkins, Mrs. Larson have put into our team. Every game, you have always encouraged our team to play together, pass frequently, run the plays, reminding us to slow the play down, make decisions in the game, and much more. The growth that we have had throughout the season has drastically improved, especially compared to last year's. Not only that, we have learned that not everything has to be fast-paced, to take a step back to get a different point of view of the game. Thank you for all you've done for us and for our team, especially me. I look up to you, no pun intended.
Okay, at this time, I'll have the varsity boys come on up. Caleb, Jared, Josh, Boston, Brody, Jonathan, Friedel, Owen, Abram, Isaac, Brad, Levi, Alizar, Caduce, Noah. First off, I want to start by thanking my assistant coaches. I like to surround myself with people who I think are better coaches than I am, and they're able to help our team achieve great things. So the first one would be Coach Dave Young. So thankful for him. I think, Coach Dave, this is 5 years, and he's just done a terrific job, and love him. Just a great man. Appreciate him. Also, Pastor Borner. Just have appreciated Pastor Borner's knowledge of the game, but his encouragement to the team, to me. Just love having him and appreciate him. And I appreciate Neville helping us out this year as well. And it's always fun having one of your former players come back and help the boys. So really thankful for the coaches. And can we give those coaches a hand? I'm just so thankful for them and appreciate their work. So, team captains this year, we had kind of used a bunch of different guys, but Josh Anderson, Owen Nelson, Levi Borner were the guys who represented our team the most often, so thankful for their leadership. But I want to say the seniors as a whole did a great job leading this team. I'm just so proud of them, very thankful for them. So our tournament placement at the Hammond Baptist tournament, we received 3rd place. And then at the St. Francis tournament, we were 1st place. The Nebraska tournament, 1st place. And at Max, we were 1st place. So good job. Thank you for that, boys. The all-tournament in Hammond went to Levi Borner. All-tournament at St. Francis was Levi Borner, Owen Nelson, and Josh Anderson. Josh, I couldn't remember. Were you MVP or was that Levi? Do you remember? I can't remember. Josh. Okay, Josh MVP there. And then the all-tournament Nebraska, it was Josh Anderson and Levi Borner. Then at state, Levi Borner, Owen Nelson, and then Josh Anderson was MVP. And then we had a lot of all-conference awards. So the honorable mention was Charles Kunster. All-conference second team, Owen Nelson, Boston Johnson. Then all-conference first team was Josh Anderson and Levi Borner. So proud of them for that. Now, one of my trophies is not here tonight, but I'm still going to acknowledge this young man. This young man was good enough to be a starter for us, but he came off the bench and he just did a wonderful job. And he's a testimony, or to kids who think like you have to ever get acknowledged, you have to be the superstar, this or that. He wasn't necessarily the leading scorer. Some games, though, he did lead us in scoring. But he would come in and he would do the dirty work. Guys don't like taking charges. They don't like getting hit. Guys don't like having to run the floor and do these different things. But this guy did that every night. He's done it the last 2 years. And I'm very proud of him. So I gave the Sixth Man of the Year award to Mr. Boston Johnson. But it's not here. But I'll get it to you, okay? All right. So the trophy shop did not get it done, but we'll get it to you. Next, we have Mr. Double Double. This young man, I've had the privilege of coaching for varsity boys. I coached him in soccer as well for a little bit, but for the varsity boys basketball team the last 4 years. He's been a starter all 4 years, and he's endured a lot of my coaching. I am not always easy, and he has taken a lot of tongue lashings and getting on him. I've recalled timeouts where I said to him, are you going to play like a man or are you going to play like a little wimp? I've said that to him before. He's bigger than me. I'd get in his face and I'd say, grab the stinking rebound or you're not going to want to see me tomorrow. I've said things like that to him. And he's taken that challenge. And this year, he led us, he was second in points, or third in points, excuse me, and then first in rebounds. So Mr. Double Double goes to Josh Anderson. Next, this young man is maybe our most balanced player. He is just phenomenal when it comes to, he can score for us, he can pass, he can rebound, he can do all different things. And probably the thing I love about him most, though, he's a tremendous leader, tremendous worker. And I must say this about him. He came to us his sophomore year. He was already here in elementary, first year of middle school, left. He came back. We did some training, and I said, hey, I want you to come back to school and be on the team. And he said, okay, coach, I'm going to come back. And since then, he's been a joy to have. But there was a point in our season where just the season gets long, and after one of the games, he was just having kind of a rough time. And Coach Young and I were able to talk to him. And it was just amazing seeing how the rest of the season played out for him. In our semifinal game against Lake Region, had we not had him, we would have lost. He led us in scoring that game. He led us in assists that game. And then in the championship game, he stepped up, and he was an all-conference player. And so my all-around player, good at everything, Mr. Owen Nelson. Emotion makes me sick. I don't know what to do with it. The next award is the Coaches Award. This young man has been probably yelled at more than any player I've ever coached, next to Levi Borner. But he's been yelled at a lot. I've been on his case a lot. And I'm just super proud of him. He's hung in there. And I watched this kid improve this year. He came to every practice. He did everything I asked of him. And Coach Young and I both thought he deserved this. And he's a testament to a kid. He doesn't get a lot of minutes. Some of you guys, maybe you work hard, but you don't feel like you're ever honored or you're looked over. But this young man, he stuck with it. And so tonight, I want to give Kadus Habtamu the Coaches Award. People might think we know each other. No, I'm just kidding. No, proud of you, Kadus. And as we said before, there's other awards that I would like to give tonight. So many guys on the team. And, you hate to leave someone out, but the truth is, guys like, Caleb Lindsay could have certainly gotten an award tonight. He's a terrific player for us. Of course, I have a feeling he'll be getting a lot more in the future. And he didn't get one tonight. Same with Charles Kunster and some other guys like that. I even think about Jared Dudek. Jared Dudek's an unsung hero on our team. And I know that he'll be receiving some awards as well. But why don't we give those guys a hand? Because they are so valuable to our team. We love them. But our last award goes to this young man. He has ice in his veins. He's clutch. And as I said before, he's endured a lot of the yelling and screaming at. Playing point guard for my team is not easy. Every point guard that's played for it would tell you that. I've been on him. I'm telling you, he's gotten his face ripped off. And, of course, in a godly manner, Let's just say the music gets louder when I start talking at that timeout. So proud of this young man. And probably the proudest moment of the whole year, we were at a tournament, and there were some kids out in the hallway talking and doing something, and some guy was getting just annoyed with some kids and from our school at the tournament. So I'm thinking, what is going on? So I marched down there, and I'm ready to rip face on some First Baptist kid. And I get in the hallway, and this guy, Levi Borner, is sitting there with a group of kids. They're reading their Bibles in the hotel. And the guy who called me, he wasn't complaining about them. He wanted to tell me it was good to see kids reading their Bible. More than any point you ever scored, Levi, where you at? More than any point you ever scored. I appreciate what you do, and I appreciate the example you are. I get to see this kid on Sunday serve little kids, him and Noah Scolacci. That means the world to me. I mean that. Because that's what it's about. Who cares about an orange basketball? But these kids living for Jesus like that. And I'm just proud of them. But tonight, the MVP goes to Levi Borner.
Thank you.
All right.
First off, I just want to say thank you to all the guys for the great season that we had. I enjoyed playing with all you guys. I'll miss you guys. So our basketball season was amazing. From the first moment that we stepped onto the court until the moment that we left it, Coach made us give everything that we had. There was a lot of blood, sweat, tears, and a little bit of throw up in some of the practices, but we got through it. It was all worth it. Because we not only won the championship, but after the championship game, we got to lead Coach into the locker room and drench him with water. And he was in dress clothes too, which he did not like. So I bet your ride home from fourth was very enjoyable, all wet. That was great. We did love your timeouts, though. None of us understood anything you said in any of the timeouts. You didn't know who was in half the time, but whatever you called worked somehow, so that was good. I didn't really want to give a long speech, so I'll just end it off by saying thank you to all the coaches, McKinney, Coach Young, and Pastor Borner, for the great season, and thank you for all of the memories. We have gifts somewhere for you, and I wanted to let you know that we tried getting a Hello Kitty bag for you, because we know you loved Hello Kitty, but they were freshly sold out, so we couldn't do that. So we just got a plain bag. Sorry about that.
I have to say this, and I know the night is late, but one thing I didn't mention about the boys is this. I have been in the MAC championship game as a coach, 9 years out of the 11 years I've coached varsity. I had only won one. I lost this championship game 8 other times. And so exactly to the day of the first one, I got the second one 10 years later, and it's because of these guys. And I'm just so proud of them and them working hard for me. I really am. So love you guys, and good job. All right, let's give them a hand. Thank you, guys. Thank you. All right, parents, thank you for coming tonight. I know this is a long night, and we just appreciate your investment in athletics, and we'll close out in prayer. Lord, thank you for this day. Thank you for the parents. Thank you for the athletes. Ultimately, Lord, we ask that you help the young people learn to live for you through the avenue of sports. And I pray that long after the trophies are buried away, that the memories that they have would live on, and the lessons they learned would continue in their lives. We ask that you give everyone a safe ride home, and we pray you continue to bless First Baptist School. We ask this in your name, Jesus. Amen. Thank you. You're dismissed.